Only 8 letters could make you a millionaire. The shocking truth behind the 1955 Jefferson Nickel. The story of the 1955 Jefferson Nickel begins deep within the United States, mint at a time when the country was transitioning through economic growth and industrial change. The nickel was never just a coin, it was a reflection of American identity during a post-war boom period. And it carried the face of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who stood for liberty, independence, and innovation from the moment the 1955 nickel was struck. It became a part of this long and storied legacy. But what truly makes this coin stand out is not only its design or metal content. It is the mintage, its varieties, its eras, and the few rare gems that have shocked collectors and investors for generations. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 7 million Jefferson nickels in 1955, which may not sound rare at first. But when you compare that number to other years and dig deeper into the condition and strike quality of the coins released, you begin to realize that the true number of valuable 1955 nickels is far lower. Most of the coins released were in average circulated condition. But there were exceptions, and these exceptions have turned into treasures worth thousands of dollars today, and even more when graded at high mint state levels by organizations like PCGS and NGC. The obverse of the 1955 nickel carries the classic left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the inscriptions "In God We Trust Liberty," and the year 1955, the reverse features Jefferson's iconic Monticello residence, along with the words "E Pluribus Unum United States of America" and 5 cents. The design itself is consistent with earlier years of the Jefferson Nickel. But what sets this year apart are the subtle details found in specific dies and mintage anomalies that have intrigued numismatists for decades. Among these anomalies, the full steps variety stands at the top. A coin with clearly visible steps on the Monticello is considered far superior in quality because it indicates a sharper and more complete strike during minting, and for the 1955 Jefferson Nickel, finding one with full steps is extremely rare due to weaker dies and less pressure during production, which means that high-grade full-step coins are among the most sought after in the entire Jefferson series. In fact, a genuine 1955 Jefferson Nickel with full steps in Miss 67 grade can fetch several $1,000s at auction, depending on demand and current market trends. But even more fascinating are the double die errors, which were caused by misaligned hubs during the die creation process. These errors result in letters and numbers appearing doubled, giving the coin a unique appearance that collectors will pay top dollar to acquire. Now imagine you are a collector in the early 1960s or 1970s, discovering that one of your circulated coins from pocket change held an error or had the sharpness to qualify as a full-step gem. This led to the birth of roll hunting and coin hoarding, where people began to search through bankrolls and jars, hoping to uncover a valuable 1955 nickel, and many of these searches struck literal gold, turning 5 cents into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The Jefferson Nickel itself has a base metal composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel with no silver content. But that does not reduce its value, as its worth lies primarily in its rarity and grade, not the intrinsic metal value. In high grades, the surfaces of the coin should exhibit luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details. And only the finest examples have survived in these conditions due to 2 years of circulation. The coin market today values the 1955 Jefferson Nickel more than ever as vintage coin collecting continues to grow in popularity. And as more people understand the hidden wealth that may be lying inside their old collections, coin books, or family heirlooms, it is not uncommon for coin shops and grading companies to report discovering rare 1955 nickels from estate collections and forgotten coin jars, and when submitted to grading, these coins can receive high designations and skyrocket in value. This historical coin is also significant for its time capsule nature. When holding a 1955 nickel, you are holding a piece of mid-20th century America, the same year that witnessed the rise of Elvis Presley, the expansion of the American highway system, and the peak of the post-war baby boom. The coin is a frozen artifact of culture, economy, and politics, and every nick in the surface, every strike weakness tells a story of circulation and use by millions of Americans over the decades. The difference between a 5-cent coin and a $5,000 coin often comes down to details that the naked eye may not catch unless trained. The mint mark for 1955 nickels was not used as all coins were produced in Philadelphia, and this detail is essential when identifying fakes or altered coins, as no genuine 1955 nickels should have a D or S mint mark, and any coin with such should be immediately verified by a professional. Collectors should be aware that storage conditions, cleaning, and even minor scratches can drastically reduce a coin's value, which is why original uncirculated 1955 nickels, especially those in high grades, are seen as premium treasures by auction houses and private collectors worldwide. The coin world today is filled with stories of people who have accidentally sold valuable coins for face value or left them to gather dust, and one of the most frequent examples is the 1955 Jefferson Nickel. Even more compelling is that some varieties of the 1955 nickel feature strong doubling on the reverse or misaligned dies, leading to shadowed lettering, which makes those versions even more collectible and harder to find in great condition. The chase for these rare variants has only grown thanks to modern grading technology, which can authenticate and assign numeric value to subtle differences that were once only recognized by experts. Today, coin collectors and historians view the 1955 Jefferson nickel as a benchmark, a test of patience and attention to detail, and a symbol of how something seemingly ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary. The best part is that these coins are still out there, hidden in boxes, collections, coin jars, and drawers, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for. This makes the journey of collecting not just a hobby, but a treasure hunt of historical proportions. In conclusion, the 1955 Jefferson nickel is not just an old coin, it is a legacy wrapped in copper and nickel. It is a silent witness to the 1950s American life, and it is a reminder that history often hides in the smallest things. Whether you are a beginner or a professional numismatist, this coin has something to offer, lessons to teach, and perhaps a fortune to reveal. And as long as coins continue to circulate, stories like that of the 1955 nickel will continue to inspire generations to look closer, search harder, and never underestimate the power of a 5-cent piece.